Okay, I got a question for y'all. Have y'all ever been in a relationship and you felt like you were leaving your partner behind, or like you were becoming the best version of yourself while leaving your partner on the couch? All right, so today we're talking about what happens when one person in the relationship starts evolving and the other person hits cruise control.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little cruise control. Baby, let's cruise away. Okay. What up, though, family? Welcome back to Table for Two with Mike and Cherie. This is the spot where we serve up the raw truth about marriage with no filters and no chasers.
We're talking about trending topics like love, loyalty, and those petty little arguments that aren't so little.
We're not relationship gurus with all the answers.
We're just two people trying to stay in love while not killing each other.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like our content, please hit the like bell and subscribe to get notified when we drop those new dope episodes.
All right. Now, we got that out the way. Let's pull up a chair and let's get into it.
So what we doing? What we talking about today, babe?
All right. So what happens when one person in the relationship wants to grow and dream and heal and evolve emotionally, but the other person wants to stay comfortable and they want to stay exactly where they are?
This episode is for people sitting in relationships thinking, I love my partner, but I feel stuck.
All right. We have different aspects of this.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to talk about the emotional aspects. And this is one of the hardest feelings that you can have in a relationship because you feel like you're evolving. You might be going to therapy. You might be reading self-help books. But when you bring it up to your partner, they're like, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't understand. So your partner doesn't want to really move in that way, but you want to start having deeper conversations. You want to have healthier habits. You want to have emotional healing. You want to have bigger goals.
Wait, healthier habits like eating your protein, your vegetables, and then your carbs? Like that?
That could be healthier habits.
And like walking every day after dinner?
Well, that is one aspect of it, but I think right now we're talking about the emotional part of it. But I do like healthier habits like that. This is some jumper jacks. Yeah. But I think we're talking about the emotional part of it. We're talking about more intentional living, more purpose, things like that. Having hard conversations, like we always talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, but your partner seems like they're kind of fighting it. Maybe they're disconnected from that, from the growth completely. They're kind of battling you on it. So what happens in that case?
Eventually, you stop feeling inspired together, right? Now, one person is talking about dreams, vision boards, therapy, goals and healing,
right?
Aspirations in the future.
What we gonna do when we retire?
Right.
Especially if you're nearing that age.
Yeah, or you want to, start up a new business or, whatever it is, and the other person's just trying to get through the day. Every day.
Right.
Just trying to get through
That's true. And that's valid.
Yeah,
for sure. That's valid for sure. But I think the other person starts to feel an emotional disconnect. And it starts to create loneliness inside of the relationship.
Yeah.
Which obviously poses a huge problem.
A mistake people make is not only about what they want to do differently, but they never explain why the growth matters emotionally. Instead of saying, you never want to do better. You never want better. You just, you're complacent with where you are, blah, blah, blah. Like, try saying, I don't want us to stop evolving, right? I want us to try something new.
You think that would change the energy, or do you think that would kind of change the conversation?
I think it could. I mean, it didn't work with you, but I don't know why you want to do that.
Are you saying
that's just
going to
cost you money? You just want to spend money. That's just very. Every idea I come up
Nobody
with, she's
asked
like, how
you.
much is it going to cost?
Nobody asked you that.
I got to buy some
Absolutely.
Amazon packages and
Absolutely.
some more
No.
Shein stuff.
No, that's not. No,
Is it Shein or
that is.
Shein?
I don't know
Shein.
how it's pronounced. Shein. Everybody says Shein. Shein. But that's besides the point. You're saying that I was resistant.
Very.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, thank you for being accountable.
Well, I'm always accountable. But
Whoa.
I think a lot of times people take that,
Whoa.
i.e., if you're not explaining where you're coming from, and also if that person is not used to growing or they grew up scared or nervous or I don't know, a lot of it has to do with your background. But I do understand that it definitely, your encouragement definitely helped me. But I think at that time I didn't hear, let's grow, let's level up. I heard maybe criticism, or I heard that I wasn't doing enough. And I felt like I have a job. I don't understand, and a good job. So why are you trying to make me feel bad because I don't want to do more? Is what I heard.
Right. So you were never really taught to like aspire to be like do more than the word.
Well, I'm Gen X, and I don't think that
We hustlers. Gen X are hustlers.
I think the Gen X, well, it wasn't we might be hustlers, true, because I worked hard, but I grew up as a worker. I wasn't a 7 streams of income kind of person. So I'm like, okay, I have this job, and then I'll just get a second job if I need to. I was a second job girl. I wasn't a let me try to start a side hustle kind of girl, and I never evolved to being that. When we got together, of course, my energy changed a bit, but I was still pretty resistant.
Yeah.
I can't lie about that.
You were very resistant.
Yeah.
When we bought our first rental
Yeah.
property, all I kept hearing about was how it was a money pit.
And it was.
And
it was.
So I kept trying to explain to her, when you buy a property, you got to fix it up. You may not see a return right away, right? You may only make $100 a month on it or whatever.
Or minus $400
It could be minus.
bucks a month.
But what I can tell you
Really?
is the property that we're specifically talking about, we bought it for $7,000 and it's worth like upwards of 80 or 90 right now. And that's just one property.
Well, needless to say, guys, the lesson here is
Listen to your boy because I know what I'm talking about. That's the lesson here. Don't fight it.
that is not the lesson.
Don't
The lesson
fight it.
is that you may feel like you don't want to evolve and grow. And that's an okay feeling, I think. It's just that when it starts to separate you and your mate, then you might want to have to consider listening a little bit. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a lesson, but I don't know. That's what I got out of it. So I don't know. I wasn't resisting. It's just that I was not a risk taker, and it felt very scary to me.
That's
I
what
know
it
that
is, really.
I
It
know
boils
that
down to you not being a risk taker.
yeah, I'm not a risk taker, and I knew that my job is going to always pay me, even though that's not
true.
guaranteed either. Well, it's not guaranteed, but I
Right,
understand where you're
exactly.
coming from.
I mean,
was
they'll
not-
pay you as long as you work there.
Right, but I wasn't taught to be a risk taker, is
Right,
what I'm saying. So
right.
I wasn't taught to be a dreamer. I was taught to understand that I go into my job and I get paid for it.
Right.
Talking about investments and risking money is crazy work to me. I mean, it is. It is. And you're like, let's fly free. Let's just throw money away.
Not
Let's
fly
invest.
free. Let's invest.
Let's invest this money into nothing. And I mean,
To nothing. Into nothing.
sometimes it's been good and a lot of times it hasn't been, honestly. Like, just keeping it real honest. Come on.
That's how investments and
Well,
risk work. They're calculated
I
risks.
was about safety. Anyway, moving right along.
All right.
The point is that I think
Sometimes your partner isn't resisting growth. They may feel judged
or
right?
criticized or scared.
criticized or just
Like I
scared or
did.
again,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about this a lot, but a lot of times it's just how you grew up. So I come from a family, and we'll move on in a minute, but just the last point that I wanted to make. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My dad, my uncles had businesses. My grandmother was a real estate agent, and she had rental properties. So that's
And I
like
didn't. I grew
instilled
up-
in me.
Yeah, and I grew up
From there.
with my dad working, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he did do things on the side, but he didn't get a lot of money from it. So that taught me absolutely not, because people take, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, a lot of times when you start adulting, people don't realize that your dreams and your aspirations, they start to drift away, basically. because life gets heavy. The bills start pouring in.
Responsibilities.
And if you do an investment and it doesn't work out, then you're like, I'm not doing another one because you lose a lot of money. We've learned that as well. Stress, just trying to survive out here is crazy. Paying rent, buying groceries, gas is crazy. So a lot of times people don't want to take those risks, especially in today's economy, because it feels too scary. And I'm still not like a huge risk taker, y'all.
She's
I mean,
definitely not.
I'll leave that to this one over here. So somewhere along the way, between gas being $7 a gallon and rent being $18,000 a month, people stop dreaming. I don't know. I think it's natural.
No, it's not natural, bro. You still got to have some drive about yourself.
That's not having drive. It's it's living. It's really surviving because people are really
We
surviving
want to
out
just
here.
survive. We
I
want
mean,
to
for right
thrive.
now, yeah, I understand that. But there's also the thought process of I'm just trying to make it out here. I don't have time to risk money that I might need for my rent.
There's so many different ways to make money nowadays, whether you
Yeah.
Uber driving or delivering pizzas
Right.
or doing DoorDash, whatever, outside of your job. So it's like,
Yeah, it
there's
is.
plenty of different ways to make money now.
It definitely is.
So
I guess Uber back in the day would have definitely been my second hustle or whatever, second job. But as you guys can see, we have two different aspects
I'm
on
a solution-based
growth.
person. I like to come up with solutions. I don't like to think about the problems that much. I think about the problem, then I solve it. So anyway, let's get back to it.
So now we're talking about two different types of being stuck. We're talking about, as we talked about before, the emotional growth and the lack of goals and or being scared.
In your case, scared.
And these both can create tension. So, because the growing partner starts asking things like, why don't you want more? Why aren't you willing to take risks? Let's put all of our money into this property. That's a money pit.
Never said all of our money.
Well, I mean,
We
it was a
definitely
lot
did
of
not
money.
use all of our
It was
money.
a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
yep. Don't go into it.
Well,
Yeah. But what
it's
is
just when you start capping sometimes.
What was
It gets to me a little
Nobody's
bit.
capping.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's capping.
$5 is a lot of money to this
You
one,
don't
okay?
like the truth.
I just literally bought some spaghetti sauce today, and she was like, "Oh, if we had a party, I couldn't buy all this spaghetti sauce for everybody." I'm like, $15 on spaghetti sauce is too much. This is who we dealing with, just so y'all
That is
know.
not $15 on spaghetti sauce. It's
They're like
literally
$5 a
It's
jar,
not
bro.
$5. Rails, y'all. How much is Rails? Please comment.
Rails is not paying us.
Please comment. I know, but how much
So
is?
we ain't gonna be just saying
I know,
people's names.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Let's be honest on this podcast. How much is Rails spaghetti sauce a jar?
Okay, if it's $7 and we need 3 jars, it's $21.
On spaghetti?
You ain't got $21?
That's crazy.
How much
I
you
mean, not
spend
for a
on
big old group of
Shein
people. Well, not for a
every
group.
week?
We're not doing that.
Why? It's a bag on the
Because
bed right
that's
now.
something. Listen,
Huh?
Rails and clothes are two different things. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's talk about deeper issues. Let's talk about what the deeper issues might be. As he said, I am definitely a person who likes to hold on to my money, which can possibly relate to let's hold it tight because that may feel a lot more secure for me. But the other person might think that you don't believe in possibilities, which is
Not
this
a
one.
dreamer.
Yeah. But how do we get on the same page? Does pressure work?
Well, people feel like pressure works, but a lot of times they need inspiration. If you're pressuring somebody, especially depending on their background, like I know you don't like pressure. Pressure makes you feel
Nobody
like
likes
you
pressure.
backed into a... No, that's not true. A lot of people thrive off of pressure
don't-
situations and being pressured into doing something. So let me finish. You don't have that. You don't like to be pressured to do anything. It works for some people. You have to know your partner.
Right.
Like I relate it to sports a lot of times, right? You have different personalities on a basketball team. One guy, you yell at him and you tell him that he's not doing that good, and that drives him to do better. Another guy, you can tell him the same thing, and he holds his head down in shame, and
It's going to shrink.
he shrinks.
Right.
He needs to be motivated a different way or inspired in a different way. So I think that's part of knowing your partner and what excites them and what gets them off the couch. You know,
Okay.
so asking questions like, what used to excite you? What dreams did you let go of? What will make you feel alive again? And answering those questions, maybe y'all can work together to get that person to maybe be inspired to do something more.
If they want to.
Like this podcast was absolutely Cherie's idea. And before that, I mean, she didn't mind spending the thousands of dollars on equipment to do this. Right.
Right.
But she had to be inspired. It had to be something that she wanted to do. And she's locked in. So
Never knew this was my dream, but I do love helping, coaching, all that type of stuff. Love therapy, love these kind of conversations. So yes, this is definitely something that I enjoy. So there's that.
So having that conversation can possibly reconnect people, because normally when people are stuck, you know, it's a fear of disappointment, insecurity, burnout, or a sense of hopelessness, or they just stuck in chill mode. Sometimes it's like when you work out good for about 3 or 4 months, and then you take a couple of days off, and then next thing you know, you ain't been back in the gym in 6 months.
It's true.
And you need a nudge.
Right. So it's not always laziness. It's not always that person just does not want to do it.
Right.
It is a way to motivate. Sometimes people just need encouragement. Sometimes people just need to see it from a different point of view. And sometimes, y'all, we just need to maybe lean into what the other person wants to do. We need to lean into that and maybe trust a little bit and say, okay, fine. Even though that's very hard, especially when it comes to when money's involved. When money's involved,
Come to the shmoney.
when money's involved, that is not easy.
If it ain't sheen,
So
we ain't talking about it.
no, that's not it. When we're talking about investments, we're talking about a lot of money. We're not talking about $20, $30 on an outfit. We're talking about thousands of dollars.
Yo,
So
let me
let's
just
be
put
honest.
this out here.
Let's be honest.
My shit always works sometimes.
Okay.
I said sometimes.
Okay.
What?
All right.
I said sometimes.
Anyway, I want to finish this podcast today, y'all, because it didn't go well last time when I told the truth. Okay? All right. Well, what happens when one partner feels like they're being held back by the other partner? What happens? What happens when that other person feels stuck?
This is where resentment can start to creep in.
All right.
You start feeling like your dreams are too big for the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Your growth makes your partner uncomfortable.
Right.
You have to shrink yourself emotionally to keep the peace. And honestly, it could be a little painful, right? It could be a little hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
If you're motivated to do stuff. And I know we're talking a lot about the business aspect of it, but it could be the emotional aspect. It could be wanting to spend more time together, taking vacations, or doing.
Or it could be therapy. It could be going to
It
therapy.
could be going to therapy.
It could be that one person's going to therapy and the other person does not want to engage in that. And I know for a fact that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, it could be any type of growth. Well, it don't have to be necessarily a business. Like you say, it could be therapy. It could be self-help. It could be something therapeutic. Anything.
Which a lot of people don't want to have anything to do with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be problematic because why? Why is the question? And so it leaves the other partner feeling unsupported. That person is going here and the other person stays here emotionally. And eventually there's going to be a huge mismatch. Mm. It's going to be a huge mismatch because everybody wants to, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but we need to feel supported in our growth. We also want our partner to grow with us. Because if our partner's not growing with us, then we are feeling like we're leaving them behind. And then somebody or both people aren't satisfied because why am I over here and you're over here? It's mismatch. We're not aligned anymore. Right? And that's not satisfying. But there's ways to push that person or, like you said, motivate that person or maybe slowly talk to that person, not just giving up, but slowly kind of bringing that person around to your thought process. There's ways to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
or at least finding out what motivates that person. I want to say bringing people around to your thought process because it sounds a little manipulative.
Well, I mean, is pulling somebody into your therapy session manipulative?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
So that's what I'm talking about when I say
Right.
bringing, and I may have not worded that properly, but when I say bringing them around in your thought process, like as far as therapy goes, and you know that person can benefit from that or could benefit from watching some great therapy videos or anything. Because,
We're watching a video on investments
yep.
and return,
That
ROI.
also, yeah. So see, I get it. So I'm interested in the emotional part. He's interested in the investment part. I'm like, okay, you can use my money. You just do that part of it. I'm seriously.
It works both
So
ways.
it does. It does. You just brought me to a good point. That's true. But so basically, I guess now we're talking about creating a situation where we can share our dreams again with each other,
For sure.
whether that's emotionally or investment properties or boats or whatever it is. I never,
She has
I
to
have
keep boats in there.
fought this man on some things, but I feel like it was valid. It for sure was
Of course,
valid.
you feel like it's valid. Anytime someone makes an argument, they think it's
I
valid.
just can't stand wasting money. I don't know. So there's that.
She don't
I
even
hate
do
it.
numbers to see if money's
I
being
don't know.
wasted.
I do know when money's
She
being
just
wasted.
know if it's got more than 1 0 behind it, it's wasting money.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not
Anyway,
gonna get into it.
a relationship gets stronger when couples build towards something together. Together.
Yeah, we can't just pay bills. We can't just survive, but we really do need to dream together. And I think a lot of times, probably maybe when you really sit down and have real conversations, I think that's when that can happen. Right? Yeah.
Open conversations. Ask each other, what kind of life do we want emotionally? Where do we see our relationship in 10 years? Ask about what experiences do we still want to have together that we haven't experienced yet. Because couples who stop dreaming together slowly start disconnecting emotionally.
That's true. That's true. I can definitely see that happen, especially when it comes to if one person wants something, the other person doesn't want that. I do believe there's a good compromise, so
There has
somewhere
to be
in
a
the middle.
compromise.
I do believe
Yeah,
there's definitely a compromise somewhere in there. And I feel like growth is definitely going to make you more compassionate. It shouldn't make you harder to connect with.
Agreed.
So that's something to keep in mind. We don't want to seem judgmental. We don't want to lecture our partner. We don't want to seem like we're
Above them.
yeah.
And pulling them along.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah, and complaining about it. We have to figure out a different way to do that.
So my thing is, healthy relationships understand this. People grow at different speeds. Everybody's not going to be at the same speed, right? The goal isn't perfection, but at the same exact time, the goal is willingness to listen, willingness to learn, willingness to try, willingness to compromise.
Okay. And understanding that everybody's going to have their own journey. That's what my therapist always told me. Everybody has their own journey, Cherie. And she would also say, there's progress in the process. So everything's a process. The emotional part, the investment part, the goal part, all of the parts, the vision part,
Money part.
everything is a process. So we have to take the small wins and celebrate those within our relationship. Everything's not going to be
wins.
everything's not going to be 100% immediately.
Okay.
But I think if both people are willing to communicate, to heal, to dream, to learn, and to evolve, be willing to.
I'm a dreamer.
Good. Somebody needs to dream in this relationship because it sure isn't me. I'm a worker. But if we're willing to seriously evolve and try to dream, it's a good feeling though. I don't even think before. I don't know. I was never a dreamer. I was never encouraged to dream as a child. So that was a new. Oh my God! It's not a rub back situation.
It's okay. It's okay.
That made me laugh. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Why would you do that? You made me feel so small. Anyway.
I didn't mean to make you feel small. I was trying to
not
comfort
like that.
you.
You're like, oh, you didn't have any dreams as a child. I had so many dreams. Nobody dreamt. I just went day to day. It's fine. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I was about to go swear. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah. So if both people are willing to do those things,
Communicate.
I think we can definitely make some concessions and make things happen. All right?
All right.
All right.
Well, you know what time it is.
It's our favorite part. Time for you to lie about everything.
Oh, wow. It's time for you to cap about everything. Y'all, we about to do The Truth Comes Out. Y'all know how it is. Go ahead. You get the first question today.
All right. Who's more likely to randomly say, babe, I think we're supposed to be millionaires? And then immediately comes up with 15 ideas on how we can do it. You. Of course it's you. All right.
And who immediately responds, can we survive this month first? Definitely
Me,
you.
because really,
Like
can we
there's no
survive?
money in the bank.
I mean,
She's
gas
like,
is like $18 a gallon. What are we saying right now?
first of all, no thanks to y'all. I did get me an EV, so we ain't got to worry about gas no more. So that's not going to be an excuse. No more.
Not no thanks. All right.
All right, I got one for you.
What?
Okay, so what's one dream you want to revisit in our relationship? One thing, one dream, one aspiration.
Getting my pet sanctuary. What are we saying? What? Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Okay, I don't have any other dreams.
Clothes and pets, those are her things.
And maybe me going to Thailand, which I had to put off this year.
That's expensive. Thailand, ain't no return on that. That's not an investment.
That's not
That sounds
nice.
like $5,000 down the drain.
That's not nice. We've lost much more than that on investments, yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Have you actually looked at the paperwork?
Yeah, I felt the
Feelings.
paperwork. What are you talking
Nothing
about?
more
I felt
than
it.
feelings.
No. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that.
When I get done with
This
here, I'm going to pull out the
this
spreadsheets
podcast
and
is
show
not-
her
this
how your boy
podcast
is up.
This podcast is not long enough to go into these losses. Okay, all right. I'm not saying we didn't have any gains. I'm just saying.
Do you think it's supposed to be all games?
Well, I mean, I like positivity, so yeah.
Women.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, final thoughts. Let's get into our final thoughts for today. So I'm going to go first. All right.
Please.
Sometimes the real heartbreak in relationships isn't cheating. It's watching the person you love slowly stop believing in themselves or becoming a couch potato, which I've been for like the last week and a half. Watching your partner stop dreaming, stop growing, stop hoping, or stop trying, or just becoming complacent. And eventually the other person starts feeling like they have to choose between protecting the relationship or becoming who they're meant to be, like whatever their journey is, right?
But healthy love was never supposed to require you to shrink or to be small. Real love should challenge you, it should stretch you, and it should inspire you as well as heal you. Yeah. Not keep you emotionally parked out of fear, comfort, or insecurity.
Because the truth is, you can't build a powerful future with someone who's committed to staying the same forever. And at some point, every couple has to ask themselves, are we still building a life together or are we just maintaining a routine together?
And maybe the goal isn't finding somebody perfect, even though that's an amazing goal.
My goal was that initially.
Well, unrealistic.
Then I found you and I was like, man, this'll do.
You
I was like, she cute.
Oh my God, look at that. All right. Maybe the goal isn't finding somebody who's perfect or handsome, but maybe somebody who's willing to grow, to heal, to dream again, to evolve with you instead of watching you evolve by yourself or being unwilling to level up. Because relationships don't die from toxic moments and just toxic moments. They die from untouched potential.
Drop in the comments, share this episode with another couple who you think could benefit from it. And remember, healthy relationships don't just stay together.
They grow together.
They grow together. We'll catch y'all next time on Table for Two. Peace.
Deuces.